sometimes, when you make friends in a space that is so competitive and business oriented, there's there's bound to have there's bound to be issues. There's bound to be people that get their toes stepped on, but not like this. Um, I think that a lot of times when you look at a content creator and their perceived friend groups online, and, some of them consider each other coworkers or, it's also a business to them. It does become transactional in some sense, but I feel like that wasn't the case here with my friend group. I felt that we've hung out with each other. Our friendship didn't start and end online. It extended far beyond that. We've seen each other at our lowest. We've confided in each other. We've showed each other our 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 bare souls, and I think that in doing so, a lot of there's a lot of I I'm so sorry. I'm I don't know. I feel like the past few days has just been, I don't even know. I don't even remember, like, um I, I I just remember seeing the screenshots, and that just when Lily told me, I immediately drove to Tara's house, and that's when we had the phone call because I didn't want to be alone. I just remember crying my eyes out on the floor. Just I didn't know what to make of it. It felt like every single emotion was happening at the same time. I was so fucking mad and so fucking sad, and I feel like I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said about how you perceive friendships online. Sometimes it is transactional and sometimes there's mutual benefit, and I can understand that. I can understand that there's nothing wrong with that. I understand that this is still a business and this is still people's livelihoods, and I can understand being competitive. I can understand wanting to be successful. I can understand seeing your friend getting an opportunity you wish you had gotten and feeling jealous, but still finding the courage to be happy for them despite it. And knowing that hopefully one day that opportunity comes to you, but like, in every scenario, I try to wrap my head around what I would have done if I was in their shoes. I just I can't understand. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. We had been through so much offline and online, and there is nothing more confusing and more painful than seeing someone in your friend group be so kind and so warm to everyone around you, and feeling that they have slowly become colder and colder towards you, and not knowing what you did or if it's your imagination. But because everyone loves them, you don't know if you want to say anything. And so you keep it to yourself, and you keep hoping it's your imagination. But then the cruel realization hits that it wasn't. And it's even more worse than you could have ever imagined. And you wonder why all those times where they talked over you or ignored you, if you had done something wrong. And I just kept asking myself, out of everyone in our friend group, why was it me? And like, what did I do differently? And for so long, I was jealous of how warm they treated my friends, and I wondered why it just felt so different towards me. And reading everything was and confirming my worst fears was awful. Sorry. And I keep thinking about how my friends waited for me to come home from the hospital before they told me. And they had to wait on all of that. They sat on that information and had to hold it in for almost a week, because they waited for me to be well enough to tell me. And even then, I don't think there was a good time anyway. And so that's why, as soon as they told me, as soon as they told me, we started. We thought of every possible solution on what to do next. And we were really fucking scared. Like we like I just stopped knowing what it felt like. I stopped knowing what was real and what wasn't. And I
I kept wondering if I just had a fucked memory or something. Like if I just like maybe I just experienced everything differently, or because the alternative was so much worse to imagine. Like you have to understand our friendship and our experiences didn't start and end off online. It went far beyond that. And like I just keep thinking about like you, like this is everyone knows how special a VTuber's debut is. That is kind of the most important day of a VTuber's career, and all of the preparation and foresight needed to make it happen. No one tells you how stressful the project management is. No one tells you how to run a commission, all of the assets, all of the coordination with merch shops to have everything come out on the dot. Making sure that at the same time you're planning everything, you are having to advertise it. You know, you look at a content creator online, and even though you are seeing one person on the screen, behind that one person is a really big team that they have to coordinate with, and that takes a lot of time. And if you are a VTuber and you have models and live 2D artists to work with, you know that they're booked out sometimes years in advance. And to have a sudden cancellation like that happen so suddenly, right in the middle of everything happening, it's so I can't even begin to tell you like how hard it is to pivot and restructure how the rest of the next month or couple of months is going to go in order to fill up that space. Some VTubers planned this shit out years in advance. I'm not even joking. So to say I was fucking devastated when my model was canceled is kind of an understatement. And I sat on that design for so long, and I was so heartbroken that I just deleted the tweet where I teased it. Like I couldn't even look at it anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's stupid, but if you're a VTuber, your model is what represents you, and you really do have to fall in love with it because it's an extension of yourself. And so I had that model as my subathon goal, one of my top subathon goals for a while. And, I showed it to everybody around me. I'm very used to very cute, dainty designs, and I just wanted to see what it would feel like to have a sexier model. And so I had that one. And ever since that happened, I thought about getting a different artist and keeping the design, but it felt like it wasn't the same. And I didn't want an artist to just draw over the design. So I just shelved it, and I hope that maybe one day Nana would be free enough to take my commission. I told her that even if it was years from now, I would love to revisit the commission. So I don't know. I feel like I had so much to say, and I don't even remember any of it. I even like wrote some of it down, but I don't even know what my notes even mean. Like, I don't even recognize my own writing. I don't know. I think that there's so many ways to be competitive and still not hurt other people in the process. And I don't know, like, I feel like even when she was so much smaller than me and was just starting out, I still remember showing up, calling her during a random stream and just making a little bit out of it. And like, for I think I speak for all my friends, but we wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for each other. And I've always felt that way, that every success that each of us has is everyone's success. And it's so fucking cheesy to say it out loud. It sounds like at the end of Mean Girls when they take the tiara and they break it up into little pieces and spread it around. I genuinely, I've always felt that way with my friends. And we know how ruthless this sphere of streaming is. We know how vile it can get, and how tough it is, and how so many times when we're hurt and we see something awful and we just want to quit, we have to keep going, and we have to just ignore it. But there's only so much a person can take. And I know it's a super stupid and niche problem to have. Like, I feel like if I explained my situation to a therapist, they'd just fucking explode. Like, it's like a privilege to be where we are with who we are. And like, I just don't know. Like, and that's the most fucked up part about it, is like, the whole time I was like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? like, why, why was I even considered a threat at all? I felt like she was so much more successful, and I felt like she had everything that I could ever dream of. And like, there was no need to kick the ladder down. There was no need. How could you accuse me of being a thief when I spent 5 hours talking to our editor, telling him and assuring him that I would never stop being his friend even if he took an exclusivity deal with you? It would mean I would only have 2 editors for my channel. And like, that still did not stop me from considering your financial well-being and the success and growth of your channel. And they could not even spare the same thought for me. For something this whole time, you know, this whole time, like, even in my Google Doc, there was, I didn't put any personal anecdotes in there. I just stuck to what was said in the notes, in the screenshots. I know how evil and fucked up this shit can get. And the whole time, like, like, you do not know how many times I was told to put in my Google Doc the fact that you had a significant other, and no matter how many people told me to put it in, and how stupid I would be to not put it in, I could not bring myself to put it in, because I knew that what that would do to your reputation, and you could not spare that same thought for me. It would have been so easy for me to prove that you had seen the messages, but I couldn't do it because in the end, I still wouldn't do that to you, and so I wonder why you would do that to me. And I don't think I've ever been quiet about my health problems either to my friends. How much I struggle with mental health and my TMJ and my PMDD, and like last year when my model was canceled, like I was literally recovering from surgery, and how could I have been scheming to take your career down at that time when I was quite literally bedridden? And so I looked when I read your apology, I was just looking for some semblance of. I just wanted to know if you would know what to say. I just wanted to know if you had ever thought of me as a close friend, or if it was just one-sided or not. And I feel like I still didn't know by the end of reading your apology, and that really fucking sucks. And now I just don't know what to think or what to believe. And how easily I could have turned this into a personal vendetta. But I kept it strictly about the people and the clients that were affected and how their careers were put on pause because suddenly a month-long project was put on hold, and to pivot so suddenly, especially when so many VTuber debuts are tied around a holiday or a birthday on dates that cannot be changed. Say it's a Halloween outfit and then how many times, how many times, Numi forgave you when you didn't come to her concert, that you were planning with her for over half a year. I wonder if you knew how devastated she was. And how, in the middle of the year, when I was so depressed, and there were some days where I could not even bring myself to leave my bed, I still managed to fly 6 hours to New York to be there for her. Why? I feel like at every single pivotal moment where you had the choice to be a good person and a good friend, you chose not to be. And no matter how many times me and our friends try to wrap our heads around it and try to make sense of it, we can't. We can't, because every single time we come to the realization that that's not what we would do if we cared. It's at some point, like, what are you even trying to one up? If you share I don't know. But there's I saw I saw a tweet today that I have always thought it's one of my favorite quotes from when I was just a cover artist in high school. And to this day, it's still one of my favorite quotes. And it's a high tide raises all sails. When I made the friends that I made today, not all of us were hitting 2K, 3K viewers. You know, like, we all were, like, I don't know, a couple hundred. Like, we all grew alongside each other. And there would be days where we would be so happy that so many people showed up to our friends' debuts, and even then, if you're bound to be jealous, get jealous as a content creator. But what you choose to do with that jealousy is what defines your character. You can either let it make you spiteful, or you can fuel it to forge your own success. Because when you're a streamer, yeah, you can share audiences with people, but at the end of the day, you are building your own community. You shouldn't focus on trying to take what other people have, because that's not how you get it. That's what they made for themselves. And it's like trying to fit a puzzle piece into a set where the piece does not fit anywhere into it because it belongs to a completely different other set. I don't know. I feel like I felt like from my point of view, they were so much more further ahead than me than I could even imagine. And I kicked down a ladder that I feel like I initially gave you. None of us would be where we are without each other. I don't know. This shit fucking sucks. And it's at some point it felt like what were these delusional stakes at hand? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're in high school and we're competing for prom queen or anything, you know? Like, it's people's livelihoods, it's people's businesses, it's people's brands. That affects them. Like, and I thought we established that by meeting each other in person, that behind this avatar is a human being with feelings and thoughts and dreams, and it sounds really fucking corny when I say it, but it's true. I don't know. I just wanted to have a cathartic talk, and shit was, you could not have had this go on for so long and not know about it. There's nothing worse than putting out and there's nothing worse than putting out and sharing one of the worst moments of your life for the internet to pick apart. And I would not wish that on anyone. But I feel like I was tasked with an impossible choice. And I hated that I had to be in the position where it had to be me to say something or no one else would. And it's not about whether or not I'm right or wrong, but it's the fact that I didn't even want to be in this position to begin with. And I know that for so many people to be affected, that it was the right decision to do. But it really fucking sucks that I had to do it in the first place. And I feel like I've been given that impossible task so many times already in my career. If I don't say something, then no one else will. And if I had a choice to not do it, then I would take it. But I know that would be the wrong choice. I just wish my apology had any semblance of evidence that you even knew me as a person and not just someone that you had it to surpass. And when I read it, it felt like you did it. I don't even remember, like, my last week. So, I just want to go back. I just want to go back to streaming. And the faster I get back to some semblance of normalcy, the better. I'm just going to rot in bed and be miserable. And everything hurts, and all my friends are hurting. And it really sucks. And we've been hurting nonstop. Please give everyone lots and lots of love. And I hope that we all find some sense of normalcy again soon. Don't know when it'll come, but I hope it's soon.